I also know God created you just like he created me, flaws and all.
Yikes. Yikes. I mean, I get that God made you. He just made you flawed, aka gay.
I believe I have a gene, they've never found it, that makes me very susceptible to alcoholism.
Oh, I was doing a bit. That's so much worse.
It runs in my family. So does craziness.
This is so sad. This is so unbelievable. You gotta just sit there and be like, yes. Yeah, comparing insanity and alcoholism to being gay is totally normal. All right, let's talk about this Blaze shit. If you haven't been following the very tragic saga, and I do say tragic, as in it's fucked up, okay? It's very fucked up the way the right has suddenly ramped up their vilification of Dave Rubin because he has 2 children on the way, and they are now seeing this act as being human trafficking. That's how they're describing it, and also slavery. Those are the 2 words they're using. Now, there's been a lot of responses from people who have been absolutely horrified about this topic, obviously. Milo Yiannopoulos, for example, says he should get the death penalty. And I guess Milo being, a converted former sodomite who cast away his sodomy stone, took it off his finger, and threw it into the water for all to see. Definitely a real thing that happened. I think it's horrifying that Dave Rubin, of all people, has done this. It's been really, really sad. Now, this is one of those situations where, obviously, Dave Rubin, monstrous grifter, huge grifter, will just vilify the worst possible. He'll marginalize people on a regular basis. He does it for pay. He doesn't give a fuck. He has no beliefs. He's willing to change his beliefs on a dime. He's the king of the grift. He's a massive grifter, and he has surrounded himself by leopards. And now he's worried that the leopards are trying to eat his face. That doesn't make what is happening any more disgusting, to say the least, though. When you're watching all these people, he's like, I used to consider you a friend, and now you're saying that apparently I'm a degenerate, and I deserve to be burned alive in the infernal tombs of hell, stuff like that. It's terrible. It's rough, but okay. So the newest one here is Glenn Beck, apparently. Now, I don't have access to the full episode because you have to get the Blaze TV to get it. And this is the Blaze TV. Check this out. For only $10 US a month, basically Netflix, you can get access to all of this. Can you imagine? It's like, could be watching 3 seasons of Stranger Things this month. Could be enjoying that. Could be watching, I guess, the House of Cards series. I'll just have to ignore that Kevin Spacey's the star. You know what? Maybe have they done that thing where they edited Kevin Spacey out of House of Cards yet, and then just replaced him digitally with someone else? Well, either way, could have all that, or could have this. Hours of this. Louder with Crowder, the Rubin Report, fearless. But I guess because the Rubin Report is featured prominently on this network of bigotry, then Glenn had to take it upon himself to let everyone know that, hey, me and Dave are friends. I just do not approve of his sinful, horrifying lifestyle, and want him to change all of his beliefs yet again for me.
I get why the right has these, what I would argue are often legitimate fears, because the left not stop eating civilization.
Correct.
And think about what an unfortunate
Correct. Good Token. You are doing your job as you were told. But then why? Why, Token, would you have gone and had children? This was not part of the deal.
Position that puts us in. Because then someone like me can make an announcement like this, then good, decent, thoughtful conservatives, some of faith, maybe some not of faith, whatever.
If you were gifted $10, would you buy that subscription to Blaze? No. My point isn't that I can't afford it. I mean, $10 is $10. It's still a sandwich. It's more I don't want to hand it to this guy. Not just Dave Rubin, because Dave Rubin's catalog's free on YouTube already. The other guy, the Glenn Beck, he's far more dangerous. He's the empire owner of this entire network of bigotry.
It is. could reach out and say, boy, this is what an interesting opportunity, and sure, it's a little different, and whatever, all the love that you and the Blaze guys and everyone else are giving me. And then there's this other part that's legit, which is, uh-oh, if we move the line, they're gonna keep going. And I don't know what the answer to that is.
Dave.
I honestly don't, because that has nothing to do with me and how I'm gonna live my life.
So the whole thing here, if you haven't noticed, it's that, like, we're okay with you being gay insofar as that we could use you, right? Because this way, it provides great cover for a lot of things. You get the whole narrative. I was once a liberal, but now I'm a conservative. You've done this whole pivot, this whole arc. But there is a degree of gay. And you know, you're good too, Dave, because to us, not a lot of people are reminded that you're gay until you tell them, and you weaponize the id pole for your own uses and our uses as well. So that's when you're good. But now you've crossed the line, and you're part of the decay and downfall of civilization. And I'm glad you recognize that you are a part of the downfall and decay of civilization. We're gonna need you to rein it in, though, you know? So just so you know your place. You went too far here.
I think, and this is why I wanted to have you on, because I don't have an answer. I am, you know me, I am a deeply religious man, and my religion says man and a woman, that is the basic building block of family. We're probably the clearest church on this, because it's been in our doctrine for 200 years. So we're very clear on that. But that's marriage and relationships, and that's what I believe. But I also know God created you just like he created me, flaws and all.
Yikes. I mean, I get that God made you. He just made you flawed, aka gay. Gay's bad, but he made you have no choice in the matter. I get that, okay? It's unfortunate. So you're a defect, but I recognize that in the eyes of the Lord, you're a defect, and that he didn't have a choice in the matter. I mean, you didn't, certainly. God did. He's testing us, testing me and my network right now.
I believe I have a gene, they've never found it, that makes me very susceptible to alcoholism.
Oh, I was doing a bit. That's so much worse. I got some bad genes too, okay? I mean, you're gay. I could possibly be an alcoholic. You know, there's shitty things inside all of us. Shitty things that we have to and being gay is really bad. It's really fucked up. But I get that you can't control it. That's because I'm one of the good ones. I'm a good Christian, okay? I recognize that you are a degenerate and a horrifying human being who's going to burn eternally in the fires of hell, but it's not your fault. And God loves you, as do I. We both love you, flaws and all.
It runs in my family. So does craziness.
This is so sad. This is so unbelievable. You gotta just sit there and be like, yes, yeah, comparing insanity and alcoholism to being gay is totally normal. And I'm going to enjoy this conversation. And not point out at all how horrifying it is that you're saying this out loud right now to my face.
But it runs in my family. The same thing with things that I don't understand. And if we can't have a conversation about things that we don't necessarily understand and probably won't until we get to the other side, we have to just work it out together and be able to say, Dave, I disagree, or I don't know what the answer is, but I love you.
But I love you. And God loves you too. We both do. Just not your sinful ways. Those are degenerate. And you should be ashamed of yourself every day for being gay. Yeah, it's been unbelievably sad to see this whole arc happen. And obviously, like, you know, Dave Rubin, just fucking, it's just a paycheck at the end of the day for him. She's like, oh yeah, no, let's talk about these high-level ideas and why I'm a filthy degenerate. But yeah, it sucks. Really sucks. By the way, the reason, if you didn't realize that that's deeply offensive and fucked up to say, is that, yeah, saying that, like, I have flaws. They can be, people have insanity. People have alcoholism. People are born with a lot of different flaws. Saying that being gay in any way is a flaw is deeply, deeply fucked up. Being gay is beautiful. So, you know, if you're gay, guess what? You're awesome. That's all there is to it. And you know, the wild thing is being a bigot, that's a choice. That's like Glenn Beck, he's choosing. He's choosing to be a huge asshole that marginalizes people. This is a choice. He could stop. He could actually learn a little bit and stop. So that's just on him. You know? That's it. Oh yeah, the Babylon Bee. This is the funniest thing the Babylon Bee has ever done in their entire lives. Unfortunately, their channel's been brought back. Anyways, the Babylon Bee decided to do what they always do, which is be unfunny bigots. And so here, the Babylon Bee makes a joke. The Babylon Bee's Man of the Year is Rachel Levine. And that was their, we're so hilarious. Again, this is something that I would be, you wouldn't find a 16-year-old workshopping this one, you know? This is something that on the surface, the fact that grown adults not only thought this joke was funny, but decided to publish it, is utterly absurd. But then, they took things one step further. Seth Dillon, you know, Babylon Bee's founder, said, "I just received this notice that we've been locked out of our account for hateful conduct." Yes, this is definitely hateful conduct, 100%. I mean, it's not something that Twitter often enforces, so it's interesting to see them taking a stance in this case. "We're told our account will be restored in 12 hours, but the countdown won't begin until we delete the tweet that violates the Twitter rules." "We're not deleting anything. Truth is not hate speech. If the cost of telling the truth is the loss of our Twitter account, so be it." Now, unfortunately, their account is back, so this isn't funny anymore. But at the time, the concept of Babylon Bee nuking their entire Twitter account for a joke this horrifyingly bad was comedy genius. And part of me was like, wait, was the whole thing a psyop? Was Babylon Bee intentionally the most unfunny comedy outfit in human history leading to this moment where they would rage quit from like the largest, I guess, social media access that they had in pursuit of what they thought to be a noble and powerful moment in human history, only to have the whole thing fall apart because it's honestly one of the worst jokes of all time. Like I was like, that could be like, that's a new form of humor. It's like quantum humor, you know? It's like you got to play the long game, and the bit goes on for years, and you have to surround yourself with the worst fucking human beings known to man, and get Elon Musk to love you, and all in the pursuit of the payoff of this one joke years down the road. Oh, quantum humor. It's very difficult to pull off, but if you do, my word. But I guess they decided to, I don't know, delete the account or something. I don't know what happened here. I don't know the second part of the story. They made a dozen posts in a week in the same format. I think they could afford to delete just one. Yeah, like they never got flagged for this one here. People seem confused about what's happening here. No, they didn't delete it. It's still up after me posting this. They're locked to the account, not suspended. Oh, okay. So they haven't posted anything new. March 20th was the last one. So they could just be locked out of their account. That's even funnier. That's even funnier. That's fucking hilarious. Like, you noble warriors. Ah, yes. In defense of free speech and comedy, we are going to lose access to our Twitter account for all time for the worst fucking joke. Oh, man. Babylon Bee. Here's a good example of why they're so funny. Babylon Bee, here's a joke. Pete Davidson confirmed as the next James Bond. Guess this one didn't land enough or something. But then they added, oh, we got to explain this to you. So the joke is that Pete Davidson is actually the international man of mystery, with the mystery being why he's a thing. The best jokes, in my opinion, in my experience, in my travels, have been ones that don't land at all and then require explanation. And after the explanation is done, you're even like... But again, this whole thing could be all part of the quantum humor, you know? Just be as deeply unfunny as possible for years and years, building to the moment when you get permanently locked out of your Twitter account. Honestly, them deciding to die on this hill and be locked out of their accounts is genuinely the funniest thing they've ever done. That's it. That's the funniest thing the Babylon B will have ever done. Like they can't like how do you top that? You know, if you're part of the Babylon B, how do you go any further than this?
Do you enjoy the Serfs but prefer not to have to use your eyeballs? Many are saying this. Well, we've got the solution for you. It's the Serf Times in podcast form. Available on most major podcasting networks now. If you enjoy it, please consider leaving a good review and feedback because it really helps the show out, apparently, and it's free, just like the podcast.
To our gods, Xander Corvus and Peyton L. Just, we are prepared to conduct many a human sacrifices in your honor. To our monarch, Tom Spiker, we are but your humble yet incompetent jesters, trying in vain to bring some levity into your life. To our Lord Trevor R., we give you thanks for this meager plot of land for us to toil away our pathetic existence. To our brave knights, Carl Wauer, Tony, D.M. Rivera, Resident Scarecrow, Sir Nickus, Mayred, Cheryl Alvarez, Rubin Kelly, Brandon, Words Greenwood, Nate, Hegbert Celine, Matthew Scarborough, Stellar Vision, Ariane McCarthy, Daniel Sutton, Coulter Smith, Jenna Tal, Quiet 185, Anna Loves Riley, Omni, Riley and Anna, Poodlehawk, The Tim Caucus, Multimondi, Trevor Janis, Lemmy 101, Anthropophojack, Saren 42, Catherine, Ramon Acosta, Nkosin, Agent NDN, Violent Orchard, Political Puppy, Andreas Chiringuito, Zach Christensen, Todd Buckingham, and Todd Lajeunesse. We salute our mighty heroes off to conquest some bread in some far-off lands.